Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Jen and it has been quite a while since I have filmed a video. So today I'm going to be going over my October wrap up with you guys. October was a pretty good reading month for me. I ended up reading 8 books total, and most of those books were like 4-star ratings. I think there was 2 3 stars, and then the rest were all 4s. So it's a pretty good reading month for me. The first book that I ended up reading was an audiobook, and that was Golden Fool by Robin Hobb. It's the second book in the Tawny Man series, and I really enjoyed it. I ended up giving it a 4. I don't like this series as much as I enjoy the Live Ship Traders, but I do really enjoy it. I do enjoy it a lot still. It's still a really good series. The Live Ship Traders for me was just amazing, and it's really hard to live up to that. So yeah, I'm not really going to go into a whole lot of detail on this one because it is like the second book in a series, also the 8th book in Robin Hobb's world. So like they're all like somewhat related, and yeah. So basically, this series is continuing the first series in like the first trilogy in her world, which is the Farseer trilogy. This one is the Tawny Man trilogy, which follows Fitz, Chivalry, Farseer, and the Fool once again. And so far, it's been really great. I'm loving everything that's happened so far, and I can't wait to read the next book and end this series and then continue on with more Robin Hobb books because they've just been so great, and I've read so many of them this year, and I'm just loving her world so much. The second book that I read in the month of October was the book that I picked for my book club to read, and that was Furyborn by Claire Legrand. I really enjoyed this. I ended up giving it a 4 out of 5. Like I said, most of these are 4s. It was a really good series. Like, this is a really good first book in the series. It follows 2 different characters, so we have 2 alternating perspectives. One is the Blood Queen, and one is the Light Queen, and you kind of know pretty quickly who's who, and it's just a really enjoyable book. It's fast-paced. I really enjoyed both points of view. Like every chapter ended on like a cliffhanger, which kind of sucked, but at the same time it made me want to keep reading so that I could get to that character's next chapter. But then by the time that chapter that I was reading ended, I wanted that character's chapter, so it like kept me reading. I read this pretty quick. It's like a 500-page book, and I read it in like 2.5 days. So really enjoyed this. Basically everyone in my book club really enjoyed it, so I picked a good book for us. I love the cover, and I mean, it's just such an easy read, and I can't wait to continue on in the story. A lot go a lot goes on, but it's so good. Like, really, it's a great fantasy book, and like definitely recommend this, especially if like you are into fantasy and you're looking for something a little bit new, because it's kind of like, I know one of my friends that read it for book club, she didn't really enjoy it too much because of the switching points of view, but like I personally really like multiple points of view. Both points of view are like 1,000 years apart in this, so that might have been like an issue for her, but I just really liked it and enjoyed it, and can't wait to continue on. Um, it was just a really great read. The next book that I read in October was Slasher Girls and Monster Boys. So this is a short story collection. I really enjoyed most of the stories a lot. I think like if I didn't give like each individual story a 5, it was probably a 4. There might have been 1 3 in it. So overall, the book got a 4 for me. Has some really great authors in it, and I just loved all the different short stories. It has Kendare Blake, Jay Kristoff, Lee Bardugo, some of my favorite authors. So I basically had to read this, and I just really enjoyed it. And I read this at night and thought that was a stupid idea on my part, but you know, I did it anyways. And yeah, um, it's got a creepy cover. My kid was like freaking out because I took the dust jacket off and I put it on the bookshelf because I don't read my books with the dust jacket on. And he like kept bringing it to me, and he's like, "You have to put this on your book." And I'm like, "No, we're not doing that, Thomas." But yeah, really good like retellings of classic horror stories. Um, Definitely like one that I would recommend if you like short stories and you like horror. I'm not a big horror fan and I still like this. I'm too scared, so most of them didn't scare me too bad. This Golden Sun by Pierce Brown. This is the second book in the Red Rising trilogy. I really enjoyed it. I gave it a 4 out of 5. I didn't like it quite as much as the first book, but that's just because like it's the second book. There was a lot going on and like there was some draggy parts, but it was okay. I did end up listening to this on audio, so that was fine because this is narrated by Tim Gerald Reynolds, and I really like his narration so far from all the books that I've listened to that he's narrated. So I enjoyed this a lot, and am looking forward to at some point finishing the trilogy off. But yeah, this is science fiction, takes place in space. There's a lot of flying around in spacecrafts in this one, so it's like pure science fiction. It's a dystopian world, and it's just a great series so far. Like, I'm really hoping that the last book doesn't let me down because I'm really enjoying it so far. But yeah, definitely recommend this series, especially if you like Greek and Roman mythology, because there's definitely like throwback to that time. So yeah, you should definitely check it out if you enjoy mythology, because it kind of has like that kind of a civilization, like a warring civilization. So it's good. I enjoyed it a lot. The next book that I read was The Grown Up by Gillian Flynn. This was just a short audiobook that I listened to. I ended up giving it a 3 out of 5. I enjoyed it more than I enjoyed Gone Girl by Gillian Flynn. So it was very short. There were parts of it that still shocked me, despite the fact that it was like under 100 pages. And yeah, it's just a very short psychological thriller. And I definitely recommend it, especially if you're not sure if psychological thrillers are your thing. It might be a good place to start just because it is a shorter one, and so like there's not the mystery's not being dragged out so long that it's frustrating. So like everything happens very quickly. The next book that I read was Dread Nation by Justina Ireland. This one is a alternate history. So in this one, during the Civil War, zombies rise up, and that basically stops that war. And all of the people who were slaves, so the African Americans and also the Native Americans, are trained to fight these zombies because white people are apparently too precious to fight the zombies. But yeah, which is absolutely ridiculous. But this was really good. Like, I really enjoyed it. And it like showed like how people's perceptions still were pretty, despite the fact that African Americans are keeping them alive, they're just like, we're better than you, even though they're clearly not. And yeah, it was just a really interesting book. I think this is I think it's a series, and I'm looking forward to the next book, because they have left their little safe place. Like, it starts out with our main character Jane being in a school, so she's in school learning the best ways to kill zombies, um, and then and then something happens, and she's shipped away from the school and into this like gated community because they have these walls built, this walled-in community, so that the zombies can't get in. And she like uncovers like this whole conspiracy and everything. And yeah, a lot of crap goes on, and it was just really good, and I enjoyed it a lot. Gave it a 4 out of 5. Definitely looking forward to the next book. I don't know why, but I really like zombie books. I don't like zombie movies so much, but zombie books, they're okay. Next up is a couple of novellas. I got The Queens of Fenburn by Canary Blake. I read both of these. I would say probably both of these novellas get a 4 out of 5. They're both very interesting and a good like refresher into the world. I'm gonna hopefully be reading Two Dark Reigns soon, so like hopefully I will just follow right back. I just love Canary Blake's writing style, and like it was really interesting because like there's the one story that like follows the 3 Arsenault Mirabella and Catherine when they're younger. So like the young queens, that story follows them and just shows like how things happened. And then there's also the one on the Oracle Queen, which shows you why Oracle Queens are not allowed. So like any Oracle babies that are born, they're just drowned or killed at birth or whatever. But yeah, that one I really enjoyed, and I just want to say, like, holy crap, the stuff that went on in that, like, there's some backstabbing in that. I enjoyed it. I gave it a 4 and 5. Again, I guess there's only 1 3 because the last book that I read in the month of October was There's Someone Inside Your House by Stephanie Perkins. This is a thriller, a YA thriller, and it's kind of like a slasher movie type thing. So, like, think of Scream, a Scream movie. This one is very similar to that, and you're like trying to figure out, and then like you actually find out who the killer is very early on, like halfway through the book, which I was not expecting, and then it just like spirals from there because like since they know who the killer is, the killer's like, well, gotta up my schedule. So yeah, it was very interesting and I enjoyed it a lot. I think it was my first Stephanie Perkins book, and I listened to it on audio, so I really enjoyed it a lot, and I'm glad that I read it. So yeah, these are just some of the books that I read in the month of October. Let me know down below what you read, and give me a like or subscribe if you like this video, and I will see you guys later. Bye!